Welcome to Insider Moves, where we're brewing up some chunky giblets with a side of mashed potatoes and a little bit of boomshot gravy. No, this isn't some gnarly episode of Barefoot Contessa. We're talking about Gears of War 3 multiplayer here. You don't just eliminate your enemies in Gears, you destroy them, reducing a would-be attacker to quivering bits of gibs. I'm your host, Triton True, and with me today is Roger Dodger, returning to celebrate Gears of War 3 multiplayer. Welcome back to the carnage, my friend.
Glad to be back. You know, it's just another gear in the bucket.
Now our approach for this episode is to highlight some of the smaller changes that actually make an enormous difference between success and bloody death in Gears of War 3 multiplayer.
First up, rifles. In my opinion, the biggest game changer to date.
Absolutely.
The Lancer, Hammerburst, and Retro Lancer are now incredibly deadly in Gears of War 3. This is no longer a shotgun affair, and rifles should be your weapons of choice, switching to your shotties only at close range. Embrace this change of philosophy, and I promise you that Gears of War 3's multiplayer will open up a whole new world of tactics to you.
Now, on a similar note, different maps do work better with different rifles. Now, if I'm going to go into the wide open spaces of Sandbar, then the Hammerburst is going to be my weapon.
And if I'm taking a tight corner and checkout, I want the Retro in my hands, baby! Woo!
Some Coltrane there. I like that. I like that. Now, spotting is another small change that can swing the tide of battle in a heartbeat. This is a serious new addition. Simply click down on the left thumbstick when aiming at an enemy, and you'll place a big old circle over their head saying, "Hey, bad guy waiting for a face full of buckshot standing right over here."
Alright, let's talk about everybody's favorite way of scoring a kill, grenade tags. We've got 3 important points here, so pay attention. 1. The delay on the tag is longer, making it easier to avoid. So, get tricky when placing your tags. Tag further around a corner or directly on the power weapons. If you place it at an entrance, it's easy to roll back out of cover, but if they trigger it in the middle of an enclosed space, they're gonna go boom.
And number 2, you can also use smoke grenades to trigger grenade tags. This is a huge change, people. Use it often.
Lastly, numero 3. Incendiary and ink grenades will explode on contact, killing an opponent instantly in the case of incendiaries. Trust me, you do not want to get caught in a column of ink.
And now we turn our attention to the mantle kick. If you hop over an object and into an enemy, you will kick them, knocking them back and stunning them just long enough to fire a shot. Now make sure you have your shotgun out if you try this, because if you do it successfully and you have that shotgun, the kill is virtually guaranteed.
Oh yeah! I love it when they do that.
Conversely, if you see someone charge at your cover, slide left or right to throw their mantle kick off. Works like a charm.
And now, while this next feature isn't exactly new to the franchise, I do want to take just a second to promote the alternate control scheme. If you head to the start menu and select controller, you can change the scheme to alternate. And if you plan on playing much Gears of War 3 multiplayer, we really urge you to give this a shot.
Yeah, what the alternate scheme does is separate the roadie run from the cover button. This means you'll never accidentally lock into cover when you don't want to. It takes some getting used to, but it's a much more precise control scheme. It's worth the growing pains, trust us.
And finally, we'd like to take a moment to discuss the trials and tribulations surrounding the sawed-off shotgun. Now, this is a hot-button addition to the game, but if you understand how the sawed-off works, you can turn it against any enemy that chooses to use it.
Totally. I like to refer to these characters as sawed-off samurais, just darting towards you for the kill, because the sawed-off can only split you at an extremely close range, so they're going to try and close at all costs. Just use this limiting factor against them and keep your distance to around 10 feet or so if you happen to see the sawed-off in an enemy's hands. At this distance, they are at your mercy, and you can just grind them down with your rifle. If they happen to close, simply roll back and finish what you started. Just stick to this tactic and send all those samurais back to the spectator screen.
Now, Gears of War 3 is finally here, my friends, and the multiplayer is live. The giblets are flying. Go forth now and conquer.
Thanks everyone for watching Inside Xbox. Oh, and remember, the Coltrane runs on whole grain, baby! Woo!
Yeah, I know that's gotta hurt. Look at your legs. They're hanging on.
I don't even know what that means.